Welcome to BasketballHeadzz Live. And tonight, we taking it out to the Allen. That's right, Long Island. And we're going to feature my guy, Rick Coombs. The Uniondale High School great and Wagner College Standout. We doing it tonight here on BasketballHeadzz Live. But this broadcast is sponsored by Styles by Nita and Unique Creations. I love them.
Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online. Buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's happening, brother?
Yo, what's up, man? Thanks for inviting me, man. I really appreciate this, man.
Oh, man, don't worry about it. I appreciate you, man. You know, I know this was kind of short notice and threw you off guard a little bit, but I appreciate you for being a basketball head and coming on.
Yes, man. I really appreciate you having me. You filling in for the big bro, Biggs, Damari, but it's all good though.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of your show, man.
I appreciate it.
Your show. I really appreciate your show.
Thank you. And look, this is going to be a start of me heading out to Long Island because Long Island is part of New York too, right?
Yes, I appreciate that, man.
Right. Definitely our brother.
I have a lot of brothers. I have a lot of cats that want to come on your platform, man. You know, to tell their stories that also played in our era and played against, you know, top quality ball players from the city and in other summer leagues around the New York City area.
Yeah, that's important, man, because I think with this time, with people rewriting history and trying to, you know, erase what happened in the past, these kind of platforms are important. And you guys are important because without you guys, there's no platform, especially for me. You know, we can't play basketball right now. I can't go to no tournaments. I can't watch the kids in the park. They got the rims down in the neighborhood. So this is the closest thing we can get to being a part of the basketball world, you know?
Yes. And
right.
Like I was telling you earlier, all of this intertwined in regards to the basketball history.
Yeah.
You know, me moving to Long Island, and I thought there wasn't no real ball players out here until I witnessed it. And I was like, damn, they just like brothers in Coney Island, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville that's doing their things, man. That's doing
right. Right. Bring the phone down a little bit some more, Rick.
Huh?
There you go, so I can see it. Yeah, there you go. So,
yeah, okay.
What I like to ask everybody, you know, because you've been part of the BasketballHeadzz shows in the past. Who introduced you to the game?
I gotta say, Eric Marbury from out of Coney Island, Stefan older brother. And, you know, he introduced us to the game. They had a tournament out there back, I think, in '77. A brother by the name, you know what's funny that I'm mentioning this, doing Black Lives Matter? There was older brother by the name of Frank Thompson. They call him Sausage. I think he lived in Grayson, and he had got shot by the cops. So the older brother decided to do a tournament in his name called the Frank Thompson Memorial Tournament. And Eric came from college, and he wanted to put a team together. And he had his brother Donnie, myself, Carlton Owens, which you played with, Silk. And I don't think Spice played with us, but you know we had a real good biddy teams. And them workouts was crazy, man. And Eric was like the first one to really introduce me to organized basketball, man. Eric Marbury.
That's dope.
Older brother.
Yeah, that's
he was
dope.
Our hero. Eric was our hero.
Right. Damn, man, that's dope, man. And coming from Coney Island, man, that's just like, you know, coming from Indiana in the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
How basketball rich it was in the communities. I had family that went out there, that lived out there, still do to this day. This is why I was able to go to Lincoln, right? Being from across town.
And the funny thing was that, you know, before I moved to Long Island, I had went to Mark Twain Junior High School. And, you know, back then, junior high school went up to 9th grade. So Darnell Williams, another Coney Island legend that went to Alexander Hamilton. So he was like a traitor, leaving Coney Island, going, you know, leaving Lincoln to go to Alexander Hamilton. He was always telling me about Aham. Yo, we need to come down to Brooklyn, USA, which I ain't knowing nothing about Brooklyn, USA. And, you know, he brought me down there, and I saw some other brothers that I fell in love with. And my personal favorite was Beetle Washington and Cosell Brown that I watched, man. I was like, damn.
Man.
I gotta get my game up if I want to be like these dudes right here.
And
that was another introduction to the game.
Those guys were the standard back then. From what I'm hearing, listen, the first time I ever saw Beetle play was on YouTube a few weeks ago before I interviewed Coach Atkins. And I got to see him play, and wow, he was amazing. He was all over the court. Cosell wasn't on the team at that time. Cosell had just went to Oak Hill, and then he kind of disappeared off the map.
And you know what? It's funny you said that. I seen Cosell about 3 years ago at his college, at his Oak Hill teammate, Wake. This brother by the name of Steve, that he was from Bed-Stuy. He went to this Wake, and he was telling me the stories why he left Hamilton. And he was like, "Yo, Rick, we didn't really have a team. Beetle and Ice and them, they were young, and you know, I was older, and I just wanted, you know, to be on a different situation, man." And I was like, "Wow." So that's when he had transferred down to Oak Hill. But them two guards, those two guards was the best guards I ever seen play, man. Point guard, the position. Beetle.
How was Cosell game? Who would you compare Cosell to that we all know about?
He was like Isaiah Thomas, man. That's how he was. Cosell talked the whole game. He would talk the whole game and still play. And yo, he shot like 95% from the foul line, man. He ain't missed.
Wow.
One of the best point guards I ever seen done it, man. It was great. Coach Atkins, me and Coach Atkins, we speak, and I pick his brain and ask him about Cosell, man. He was like, "Yo, Rick, Cosell was supposed to be an All-American '79 with Isaiah Thomas. Those were the two best guards on the East Coast at that time."
Yeah.
Cosell.
Yeah, Coach Haskins said Cosell was number 2 behind Isaiah.
Yes, man. Yes. That's how good he was, man. He talked the whole game, the entire game, without the ball. He moved without the ball well, and he would control the game just by talking, telling people where to go. He was a born leader, and that's what Coach Haskins wanted. He wanted leaders on the court, and you know he had Beetle.
So, what was your years like in Coney Island, and when did you make the transition out to Long Island?
Well, I mean, my father, we lived in Sea Park, right across the street from my public school, 288.
Right.
And you know, my father had a vision. He seen how Coney Island was turning. You know, it was turning to something bad, and he wanted us to get up out of there. At first, we was gonna go to Queens, you know, right about by Springfield High School, and then you know he wanted us to go out further. So we ended up in Hempstead, and me living in Hempstead, thinking that I'm gonna go to Hempstead High, but I didn't know it was like a zone area, and I ended up going to Uniondale High School, man. And that's where it all began, right there. I met some great brothers, man, that played. Like I heard on your show before, you had dudes that wasn't even all city or all Long Island. I was going Division I school, man. So that's where it all began. Yeah,
that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Who were some of the guys on your team when you played?
Well, at the time when I was a sophomore, we had a brother by the name of Dwight Gibson. He was like honorable mention All-American. He was a guard. He was one of the top ball players from Long Island. He ended up going to, I thought he was going to go to Syracuse, but he ended up going to Penn State. And I asked him, I said, "Yo, Dwight, why you going to a football school?" He was like, "Yo, Rick, they giving me the ball." You know what that meant. They giving me the ball. So he ended up going there. So he was one of my mentors as well in the high school. Him and another guard by the name of Mike Gamble. They were two guards in front of me that I learned a lot from, man. Because, you know, I couldn't shoot that well. And brothers out in Long Island could shoot. So, you know, they taught me how, you know, the proper way to shoot and all that, my release and all that stuff. I was just a playmaker, getting the ball to the right people.
You know, that's very important as well. So when you moved out to Long Island, who was the best player in the neighborhood?
Woo. We had a brother by the name of Rob James. He was ambidextrous. He ended up going to St. John's. He went to Long Island Lutheran. He was a 6'3" guard, man, that could do everything. That was the first brother I had met at this park called Kennedy Park that I saw. Remember I said earlier that I thought dudes out here was country and they couldn't play? So when I seen him, man, I was like, damn, he was 6'3". Back then, he was about 185. Could use both hands.
Wow.
He was like one of the best ball players. And another brother, he went to St. Agnes. He's the head coach at Nassau Community College. His name is AJ Wagner. He ended up going to he went to St. Agnes, no, Fairfield, and he played like a year and a half, 2 years with the Boston Celtics.
Wow.
He's still around. We still talk. Yeah, so them two brothers was like, they stood out.
So how did you guys do while you was at Uniondale? Did you guys win anything?
Yeah, well, my 3 years there, we went to the counties. All 3 years, and we end up taking L's by a total, all 3 years, a total about 5 points. My junior year, we got beat by a buzzer beater by a school called Baldwin. Me and my father was just talking about it. One of his best friends, his son hit a jump shot, his only point against me.
Wow.
They ended up beating us at the buzzer. And my senior year, we lost to Hempstead, which you know, my best friend, Barry Bookard, which was Dr. J nephew, and we ended up going to Wagner together. They ended up beating us by like 4 points in the chip. So I went there. We got there every year, but we just couldn't get over that hump.
Oh, okay. So when did you go your freshman year?
I went to Northeastern. They were recruiting me.
No. I'm talking about your freshman year high school.
Oh no! Remember what I told you? We didn't. I ended up doing from Mark Twain, 9th grade. So I didn't get to go to high school my freshman year. Got you. Remember that all changed. That all changed.
That's right. That all
changed, Glenn. Remember that all changed.
Yeah.
And you know, I was friends because they didn't know I was moving, and they thought I was going to Lincoln. Spice, Donnie, and Silk thought I was going to Lincoln. They was like, nah, nigga, you going to Lincoln. Excuse my language. They said, you going to Lincoln. You coming to Lincoln. Then we ended up moving. But I still kept in contact. I hated Long Island so much. I was leaving every Friday, jumping on the Long Island Railroad to go back to Coney Island, man. That's how much I ain't like Long Island.
So what tournament did you play in coming back to the city?
I played in Citywide. Citywide, that was at Montebello Park.
Yeah.
In Queens. I played in that. I played Elm Corps. That was another one in Queens that had all the top players, Kenny Patterson, Chris Mullins, a brother by the name of Dwayne Johnson that went to Marquette. Because I always played up, and they had me playing against these phenomenal friggin' guards like Kenny Patterson. That was one of the best dudes I saw handle the ball. And that's when I first seen Pearl play. You know, and another story, man.
He changed the culture.
Yo, Glenn, he scored 55 on us in Empire States on layups. We couldn't stop him. We had a boxing two on him, and we couldn't stop him, man. Couldn't stop him at all.
Triangle two. There's a triangle two.
Yeah, triangular two, yes. And we couldn't stop him. That's how good he was, man. Wow.
Listen,
and who they had on that
for a guy who didn't have a jump shot, he could score a lot of points.
But by him is he put so much fear in other players, man. That was it right there. The fear factor.
Cause he said 55.
Yeah. Or layups, Glenn. All layups and free throws, man.
And no 3-point line. No 3-point line back then.
No 3-point line. He did this up in Syracuse at the Manley Fieldhouse. The Manley Fieldhouse, he did this, man.
He knew he wanted to go there.
Yeah.
Set the stage.
I played pretty well that game, but we couldn't compete with them, man. We had like 6 dudes on my team that went Division I. Russell Pierre went to North Carolina State. Billy Donovan, not Billy Donovan, Jim Christians. He's the head coach at Boston College. He played on that team too. And Frank Williams, one of my best friends, he would end up going to Fordham. I was telling you about him, that I wanted to get him on the show.
Right.
Another brother that's doing well right now. He's an educator and he's coaching in the Bay Area.
Dope. All right, so
Platform, man.
No, this is dope, man. So you get to this level when you playing in the city, you playing in Long Island, right? You playing Empire State.
Yeah.
Who ass did you bust to let you know you was ready to go play Division I?
In that Empire State game, I did very well when we played against New York City with Kenny. You know, they had the 3 pros. We didn't know they was going pros, but they had Kenny, Mark, and Pearl, and Elmer too. I had a good game. And who else? At 5-star.
Hold on. Say them names again, bro. Say them names again, so people could realize what you had to deal with as a young man, right? Being a teenager up in Syracuse University.
Kenny Smith, Pearl Washington, and Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson had the same game. And we're gonna go like a little further. I played in 5-star, and Muggsy ripped me one time. Muggsy Bowles. He was ripping everybody. He caught Pearl too.
Really?
He caught me one time, man. Yeah, I played good. I had a good game against him. And Sienna, that fall, Sienna came to the school and was talking about me. I won the game in with 2 free throws, and the coach came to my school and remember that. And that's where I should have signed that right away, but I didn't. I ended up waiting around and BS.
Wow.
Sienna wanted me pretty bad.
That's crazy.
But you know how it was, Glenn. Back then, our mind was like Big East. And I got 1 letter from a Big East school, and that was Providence. That was it. So.
You also mentioned in my post that the only person that Muggsy Bowles couldn't rip was Mark Jackson.
He couldn't rip him. Mark. The thing about Mark, you see how dudes, the way he played the NBA, that's how he was in high school. He protected the ball very well. Muggsy couldn't rip him at all. Mark was slow. He couldn't jump. But he was phenomenal. Phenomenal. He didn't rip. He didn't turn the ball over, and he always made the right play. Unbelievable. And Muggsy was a beast. Muggsy was getting everybody. He got the best playmaker in the camp that year.
Wow.
83. Reggie, I'm gonna tell you who the class was. They used to match up me and Tommy Amico, because we had the same body, and they used to match us up. And then later on, during the camp, they was like, yo, he's an All-American. I'm like, he's an All-American? He's going to Duke. And I'm like, wow, from Virginia. And they used to match us up because we had the same body, man, and we used to go at it.
That's
I wasn't
dope.
part of that politics, man. They ain't know who I was, Glenn. Nobody knew who I was. Coming from Long Island, too, it's not like I was from Brooklyn or anything like that.
Yeah, when you got the right people talking about you, it make the world of a difference.
Yeah. And, yo, Glenn, we were so much a basketball fanatic, man, back then. We were so much in tune. Yo, we used to wake up early at Empire States to go watch all the other teams, go watch Pearl play. They played, New York City lost to a team from Adirondack, and they had a guard by the name of Curtis Atkins. He went to Pittsburgh. He dropped 43 on Pearl and them.
What?
He dropped in the championship games in Empire States. He had 43 points against New York City. Curtis Atkins. He's a guard. He played at University of Pittsburgh. Big East. I thought he was gonna blow up, but he never cut it in college. But that's how the competition was in our era. Curtis Atkins, bad.
Wow. Cause he played guard. Just to let you know, he played guard, right? He played guard.
Yeah, he was a guard. Yeah, he was
No, you.
Oh yeah, I was point guard. Point guard.
So
Man. I tried to pattern my game after Beetle and Kenny Patterson, man.
I was just about to ask you that. I was just about to ask you, who did you pattern your game after?
Yeah, them two, man. Beetle, my idol, man. I still tell him to this day when I see him. My idol, man. I love you. Love this game.
Ross said, tell him Ross Irvin said what up.
Oh, tell him I said what's up, man. He's a good dude.
No doubt. No doubt. So, who recruited you out of high school? Besides Sienna, right?
Sienna, I had Northeastern. I had Niagara. And Hofstra was looking at me, but I lived down the street from them. And I wasn't thinking about, which back then, I should have ended up going there. It was too close to home, so I wasn't
you would have been a hometown hero.
Yeah, but I wanted to get out of New York at the time, man.
No doubt. I understand that.
BU was looking at me as well too. And George Washington showed some interest, but my grade wasn't up to par to go there. And a lot of Division II school, the coach at NYU, he sat with my father every game and wanted me to come there bad. And Dwayne Martin was there. Ended up going there. Dwayne Martin, they call Shake.
Yeah.
Actor.
He'll be on here soon too. Yeah, I spoke to him recently.
Yeah, the coach wanted me real bad. And my father was trying to, hey, you need to think about going there, thinking about the future, thinking about, you might get a job on Wall Street. But I wasn't trying to hear that at that time. And the coach was saying, I know he's not gonna come here because it's Division III. But Glenn, we wasn't thinking about going on Division III back then, man. Especially playing high school ball.
Right.
We think we better in the Division III program. So they wanted me real bad.
Ross said you got any stories about John Johnson?
John Johnson, me and him exchanged shorts.
That's my guy. That's my guy right there.
He probably ain't gonna remember it, but he gave me some. Me and him, I had some shorts that he wanted, and we exchanged his shorts. He gave me some white and black shorts, which matched our school colors. But John had big hands, man. He was another one. He was a 10th grader. He was a 10th grader when I was going into my senior year, and he was one of the top 10th grader at 5-star. Real good, real good, man. John should have been in the league.
Yes.
That's how good he was.
He had that one weed incident, and it fucked everything up.
Yeah, it did. John was real good. John went to a great high school, man. He played with Ernie Myers. He went to Palatine. Yeah, Ernie Myers was one of the baddest guards in New York City, man.
And I think, didn't he play with Alden Polynice as well?
No, John played with him.
Yeah.
Ernest went to North Carolina State. He played with Lorenzo Charles.
Right.
God rest the dead. Yeah, he got a chip with them. Yeah, man, we had some bad ball players, man, in our era, man. I remember in one of the comments I had said to you, dudes ain't even make all city that was going Division I, Division II in our era, man. Unbelievable.
That's real.
Norm Roberts.
That's real.
Norm Roberts. My boy Norm Roberts. He's assistant coach at Kansas. He coached at St. John's. He ended up going to Queens College, man. Point guard.
Wow.
That did his thing. Yeah, man. That's how. And he won a city championship that year. I was at the game. They beat Aham. Buckeye had like 35 that game.
That was the year before it closed? Yeah. Was that the year before it closed?
That was right. Yeah, that year they was gonna close. They had Mike Irvin, Gerald Green, Devil Dog, and I think what's his name? Gerald King.
Yeah.
Gerald King. And
Andre Kibler.
Yeah, Kibler. Yeah, he bad. And they had Springfield had the dude named Rich Anderson. They call him Radar.
Yes.
Nickname, they call him Meathead. Left hand, could shoot. Lights out. And Norm Roberts, his brother Marty played, and they had a young dude by the name of Anthony Mason on that team.
Wow.
Yeah, and they beat Hamilton.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So where did you go after college? After high school?
After high school, when I went to Northeastern, it didn't work out. They wanted to redshirt me, so I ended up transferring. My man Omar Johnson, that's good friend with Eric Singleton. He played at All Hallows too. He was the second leading scorer on that Wagner team with Terrance Bailey. I called him up. He was like, "Yo, Rick, come down." So I ended up going down there at Wagner.
Yeah.
That's where I ended up at,
Yo, Ross, I thought the same thing.
Y'all had a crew, man. FDU. Y'all had a crew. I think when I got there, that year when I got there, I couldn't play. LIU was the best team in the conference.
With Carrie Scurry, right?
With Carrie Scurry.
Bring the phone down. Bring the phone down. I can't see you. Go ahead.
Yeah. They had Dre. Yo, I respect Dre. You know why I respect him? Andre Irvin. He was a high jumper. When he broke his ankle or messed up his knee, yo, Dre changed his whole game, man. He became a shooter. He killed us. I think on that team with Carrie, I think Dre might have been the second leading scorer of the team.
Wow.
Yeah, Dre changed his whole game, man. His entire game. Because his game was on athleticism. When he get to the cup, he would dunk on you. Changed it.
Yeah, because by the time I started playing against him, he was on his decline, but he still had the jump shot. And the guys had to explain to me what happened to him and why he don't, he's not the Sky Irvin that he was before.
Nah, he wasn't, man. He had got hurt. Because what happened was when they played us at their place, Terrance dunked on him. And that was like the big thing. I'm like, yo, man. Terrance looked at me and was like, yo, I dunked on your boy. I'm like, yo, man, that ain't Dre no more. That ain't Sky no more.
Right.
Because he wasn't jumping like that no more, man.
Right.
But he still ended up getting 25, 30.
Wow. His nephew Gary Irvin, definitely a really good ball player that came out of New York.
Yes.
And now the head coach at Nazareth High School.
Yes. At Nazareth, yes. I just hope he gets some players this year, man.
Yeah. Definitely. He's gonna be on the show. I spoke to him. I want to get him and Andre on together.
Yeah, Mike. No, you should get Mike. Yo, Mike was good.
No,
too,
Mike.
Man.
Oh, Mike is my man too. If I can get all three of them, that would be awesome. If I can get all three of them.
Mike, look. Yo, every time I see Mike, man, I'll be like, yo, you need to come to playing the 50 and over, man. He looked good. He was like, nah.
Still look the same. Yo, everybody tell me to do the same thing. I said, listen, man. If I ain't playing against you when I was coming up, I ain't doing it right now. I ain't giving nobody a chance.
The 50 and over at the BRC, man, it's crazy down there on Sundays, man.
I'll come down and watch. I'll come down and watch one day. I'm definitely not playing. Yeah. So.
Yo, I spoke to Spice earlier, and you was right, man. That freshman year when he couldn't play, your freshman year, and his senior year, yeah, I think y'all would have took it, man.
Yeah, we definitely would have. That changed.
I think y'all would have took it.
That changed everything. That propelled Ron Strickland to his career and what he's doing. Not saying he wouldn't have made it, but it just would have been different.
Yo, Glenn, that squad, y'all had 4 Division I players on that team. Spice, Kenny Parker, Damari, and Silk. But Spice ain't played.
Well,
Spice ain't played that year.
You gotta count myself. You gotta count.
No. No, the reason why I ain't count you because you was a freshman.
I know, but if we talk about the guys who all went, there was 6 of us. There was 6 of us that went D1. Me and Dave Adabanjo. And it's crazy because that year my coach chose 3 freshmen. We was already number 1 in the state. And I kind of explain to people all the time, I never thought I should have been on the team, but things worked out a little different. There was a guy named Josie Watkins who was the best player in Coney Island and by far better than me and Dave Adabanjo at the time. He was the point guard. And he was looked at to be the next one.
Damn.
And Dave and I were the ones who went Division I. Dave played for LIU, I played for Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, man. That's the thing back. I think you mentioned it in one of your other shows about how the coaches back then, they got kids into schools, man.
Yeah.
But now you don't even see that, man. You don't even see that, and it's sad.
Yeah,
it's sad, man.
I think, and I said it. I say it all the time. I think now that we have the power, I'm talking about young black professionals,
young black, yep,
that are coaching I think everyone should be going to college. I'm going to keep saying this. Since Rob Phelps has been coaching at Bedford Academy,
Yes.
he has sent
Yes.
99% of all of his kids to college. And the only one that didn't go,
Salute.
I know. He didn't want to go. He chose not to go. Not saying he wasn't good enough, but he chose not to go. And he has been, how many city championships Rob won? They still in the A division. He's not the double A, right? But his production is off the charts.
You gotta have an 80 average to play for him, right? Something like that.
Yeah, him and Banneker. And Banneker is another 18 that's on the rise. Coach Will Jackson. You have to have an 80 average to play.
Wow. See that? You know what? Because I think I had mentioned in one of the comments when you had mentioned that 65 ain't passing in college. That's not passing.
That hurt me.
They need to raise that standard.
Yes. We was playing just to be eligible.
Right.
No one didn't tell us or give us. They just, they didn't tell us the game plan. They didn't give us the format. Like, yo, you need to have 75 and better, just in case you come down a little bit, right? If you got 65, you failed one class, that's it. It's a wrap. Pat Alphonse said, what up? What up, ball head?
Yeah, Pat a good dude, man. Another good brother, man. He the one that put me onto your show.
Okay, yeah, that's my guy right there, man. Put me
onto your show, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, Pat. Yeah, me and Pat Burke, man, we've been through. Oh man, that's my dude, man. He got a raw deal at Wagner, man.
Nah, this is Pat Alphonse, my other Pat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pat Alphonse. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Brother too.
Yeah.
Ça passe.
So how was it playing with Pat and Terrance?
Pat Burke Pat could score on anywhere in the court. You put him in, plug him in, he gonna score. That's why I said before when you asked him about Rick Schmidt, yo, Pat was one of our best rebounders, man. And you see how skinny Pat was.
Yes, Pat averaged double. No matter where I played against him, Pat averaged a double-digit rebounds. No matter where I saw him play.
Yeah, Pat was a scorer. Terrance, that was my roommate for 2 years, man. I love him. And yo, Glenn, I'm gonna be brutally honest, man. Terrance ain't make us better. Terrance, I love him. First step, he would dunk on you. He was north-south. He didn't know how to change direction. He couldn't go east-west. Because I think there was a mention about him and Charles Jones. The difference, Charles Jones had a better handle.
Yes.
Charles Jones now had a yo-yo. Terrance couldn't do that. Terrance was north-south. He get an open, he gonna dunk on you. Shoot, he might have shot better than Charles. The long ball, he could shoot. But what I liked about Charles made other people better. Terrance wasn't like that, man. Terrance will pass out of necessity. And I told him that in his face, man. I said, yo, you gotta make cats better, man. You wanna get 35, bring it down, man. Get 25. Get O involved, our second score. O. He wouldn't get them involved. If O had more than him, it was a problem. So he didn't make us better, man, as far as a leader that he should have been. But as far as scoring, no joke. Terrance should have played 10 years in the league. That's how good he was. He got drafted in the second round by Atlanta Hawks. Terrance went there overweight. And just so happened he got hurt. Guess who took Doc got hurt? Guess who took Doc Rivers got hurt? Guess who took that spot? But Terrance was out of shape and he was working his way back in. The dude that went to Rutgers, the guard, John Battle. Was it John Battle?
Wow.
John Battle got that spot over Terrance.
And John Battle played in the league. He played in the league of
exactly.
Woo, a few years.
Terrance better, and Terrance better than him. Terrance was T was bad, man. He was bad. Dudes feared him. They feared him, man. But like I said, man, he just wouldn't make his teammates better, man. He didn't want to do that for us to get to that next level. Like when we played y'all, right? And y'all had Damari, Bigelow, Charlie, the left hand Charlie. You need to get him on the show.
Yeah, Charlie Roberts. That's my guy. He just called me. I got a call. He just called me before I went on.
Yeah. Charlie, Biggs, they had Damari and Jamie Latney.
Yes.
Terrance want to get 50 against them, man. I said, yo, T, they got a big front court, man. Get everybody involved. I think we might have beat y'all at y'all place, and then y'all came back to us and just blew us out, man. We didn't have an answer for Biggs, man. He was too tough. He was too tough, man. He was big, get down low. You wasn't stopping him. But yeah, that was Terrance, man. I love him to death, man. But you know, I tell him all the time when we was in the room, you know, sleeping, man. I'm like, yo, T, man, you got to give the rock up, man. Make everybody better.
Right.
You know, let O get off, let Todd get off, let Largest get off, and when Pat come in the game, let Pat get off, man. You want the ball all the time, man. You know, it's that ain't gonna work. And they keying on you. He want to go to the hole on 5 dudes sometimes. Can't do that. I mean, he will get it because he gonna get fouled. He was the best player in the conference, so he gonna get the calls. You know, he averaged 30. We played Notre Dame. We played Notre Dame over at their place. He trying to go at Dave Rivers, man. I'm like, yo, come on, T. Just, you know, play within yourself. And they had big 6'10", 6'11" dudes that, you know, he trying to go and dunk on, and you know, and they just played, and they end up beating us by like 25, man.
Yeah, he was definitely going for his numbers. I want to give a shout out to my guy Scar. What up, Scar? My guy Scar in the building. He mentioned Darren Pup Woodbury played when Spice was ineligible. Darren Woodbury, definitely one of the nicest guys I ever played with. That didn't really get any recognition.
Yes. Yo, Glenn, one of my highlights was when I ended up on the news, man. We played Brooklyn College. I think Spice wasn't there. I don't think Spice was there. They had a 6'7" guard named Marvin Richardson. I stripped him like by half court, and I end up making the last shot of the game and beating them, man. That was my college highlight, man.
Wow.
Yeah, his name was Marvin Richardson. Marvelous. His nickname was Marvelous. He was 6'7". He could shoot, man. Spice know who he is.
Oh, word? Was he good?
Yeah.
Was he good?
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was good. That was when Brooklyn College was deep. Remember Earl said that they turned Division I? That's when they played Division I. And that's why Spice went there, because Spice looked at the schedule. They was playing DePaul, Notre Dame, and Spice said, yeah, I'm gonna go against Rod Strickland and Dave Rivers.
How did Spice do at Brooklyn College?
Huh?
How did Spice do at Brooklyn College? I think I was in prep school.
2 years. Spice played 2 years there. He averaged like 15. Because remember, Glenn, he was at St. Peter's first with Kenny Parker.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was at St. Peter's first. Yeah, he was there first. That's where he went. What dude you know ain't playing senior year and get a Division I scholarship? That's how it was back there. And your coach, y'all had a phenomenal coach, man.
Bobby Hartstein, the great Bobby Hartstein, definitely.
Yeah. Y'all had a great coach, man. There was great coaches back there, man. Y'all had great teachers. And like what you just said earlier, we have the power now, man, as far as young brothers coaching, man. You know, you got Bud over at Jefferson. You got my man, what's my man name at Canarsie? You got Jake
at Canarsie.
Yeah, you got Jake.
You got Lovelace at Boys and Girls. She came up in our era.
You got Dashi over at Lincoln. I coached him because I did AAU too. I coach in AAU. So I coached Dashi. They got Dashi at Lincoln. So we got the power now. We got the power.
I think everybody's so caught up in wins and losses, right? Instead of just building the program, right? And I'm not saying that these guys are not doing it because I'm not in the gyms every day. But I'm looking at the results, and I'm looking at the quality of the kids that's going to college out of New York City in the last few years. It's going way down. Right now, the girls in New York City are going to way better colleges than the guys. Flat out, like kicking their ass on the recruiting trail.
That's unacceptable, man. That's unacceptable. That shouldn't be the case, man. I mean, yo, Glenn, I used to pick up the newspaper, man, and just saw who was getting recruited by what school, and at the end of the year, you saw where they signed, and it was big time programs, man. You got a guy on here right now, a brother, he a coach too. My man Eric Brooks. He went to Christ the King. He played with my boy at Fordham University, man. That's another brother.
Oh yeah?
That came up through the ranks. Yeah, Eric, yeah. Christ the King point guard. He was nice, man.
Yo, E, make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're gonna have Laura Millie. She 1989 New York State Player of the Year, and she's the fourth female to ever win that award in New York State history.
Wow.
Definitely.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah. Yeah, man. Your show though, man. I love your platform. I'm waiting for Spice and Silk to come on.
Oh yeah, he told you what we're gonna do?
Yeah. They wanna Silk said they wanna do it together, man.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, but like I said to you earlier, man, we need to get some of the older brothers on here, man, like Larry Washington and Jeff Thomas, man. Them guys was ahead of us, man. We watched those dudes. Them dudes was like foundations.
Yeah.
Of high school ball.
Yeah.
That's how good they were.
I'm trying to get Charlie Scott. I'm trying to get in contact with Charlie Scott.
Wow.
Because he's still around. Roger Brown, I think he's a principal at one of the schools.
Right.
Definitely want to get him. And there's a few more that I want to get. But one last question. I got a few more questions before we end this.
Yeah.
How would you compare Long Island basketball to the city game?
Right now?
Just in general.
Talking about right now, back then. All right, back in our era, dudes out here dudes in Long Island had a chip on their shoulder because they always put New York City ball players in front of us. So I think we might have been on an even playing field back then, but the guys in the city, my opinion, was a lot tougher, was more hungry. But as far as talent level, it might have been the same. But now, it's disgusting, man. Disgusting. The talent level on the island. It's only like a few schools that got top players, and that's the Long Island Lutherans. They always have top players. And maybe a few other schools that got top players. But as far as the public schools in Long Island, horrible. Not good at all. Not good. And I don't know why. I heard from one coach, he said they all want to be gangbangers now. They all want to be Bloods and Crips. And they're not interested in basketball like how we were. But when I was coming up, it was an institution on the island. Guys took pride, especially when they knew they was going to play a team from the city. They would get up for them. But, city dudes was just tough. Y'all was flat out tough, man. Tougher than the Long Island kids. Y'all basically wanted it more.
Yeah, I know you mentioned earlier that the guys in Long Island had the jump shot, and a lot of the New York guys didn't have that.
Yeah. Guys on the island could shoot, man. Brothers could knock down the long ball before they was 3-pointers, were able to shoot. Like my man I mentioned earlier, AJ, could shoot. He went to St. Agnes. St. Agnes was a perennial powerhouse on Long Island, man. They had Billy Donovan, my man Bernard Woodside that went to LSU, my man Frank Williams that went to Fordham, and Billy went to Providence.
Yeah.
They had a crew. They wanted me to go there at the time, man, but it was an all-boys school, and I wasn't thinking about going to no all-boys schools back then. I wanted to be around, around girls and all that, which, I wasn't thinking back then, but they wanted me to come there. And then you had another school called Lutheran. Long Island Lutheran was always good. Yeah. Always.
We played them up in Glen Falls after we beat Malloy, Kenny Anderson.
Beat them, right?
Yeah, we beat them. Lutheran, right? We beat them in double overtime.
Who they had on the team that stood out?
They had Arnold Bernard, they had Dwayne Ivory, and they had another guy who was really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, man. That was our era in a nutshell, man. I mean, dudes, it was a hotbed. Yo, the scouts don't even come to New York no more to recruit kids, man. They ain't coming here. I'm on YouTube, and I'm watching Jersey taking all the light. I was watching DeJuan Wagner's son.
He's a beast. He's a beast. I don't know what they putting in that Wagner food, man, but damn.
Exactly. I mean, it's like Jersey is the hotbed for basketball in the tri-state area, man. Come on, you kidding me? Come on, I know at your games at Lincoln, you could account like 20 Division I scouts watching y'all, man. You come to a game now, you don't see no Division I scout. I mean, I know the rules change, but you don't see no scouts at these games, man. But the talent level fell off, and they got all the resources. I think Earl mentioned it yesterday. They got way more resources than what we will ever have.
You see, Tiny jump shit. Tiny's at Patrick's school with the #1 player in the country.
Yeah.
What do you feel about what do you think about all that he's accomplished and all the things that he's done?
Well, say it again. I'm sorry.
So what do you Tiny, what do you think about all his success and all the things that he's accomplished?
You know what? I feel he I feel he didn't get his just due. I felt what happened to him at Seton Hall, that should have never happened. And I'm gonna tell you why. Him and Mo Hicks have the same type of record. Tiny got how many chips Tiny got? PSLA chips he got.
He got 9. Think he had 9 or 10.
He got 9 chips. Why are you making this man assistant coach? You got Danny Hurley. Danny Hurley never coached and got my alma mater gig. Why Tiny couldn't get a gig like that?
Lineage, man. You see, look, I think what they did to Mo Hicks and what they doing to Tiny is purposely done.
Unbelievable.
Is purposely done.
Are you serious?
So I don't get mad. I don't get mad when Tiny want to make a move for himself, because you gotta look out for yourself, because the system, right, is not giving him the accolades that he deserved. Now, the other coaches and what's happening, they should look at that and come together, right? Because that's the only way this is going to work, and the kids are going to get better if these coaches set a higher standard and get these kids involved. And you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. The team that struggled in the past, the team that struggled in the past in the future will not be last. They will be one of the teams that are first. And that's why I believe Bedford Academy and Banneker in a few years will be running the city, especially Brooklyn.
Running the city. And you know what? You know what, Glenn? It hurted me. It hurt me, man, that this guy, Tiny, had to become assistant coach. And you got Hurley, dude, coaching Wagner. And Tiny got to, Tiny, you mean to tell me Tiny got to win 10 championships? He won 10 chips, 4 with Lance, 3 that I know about with Sebastian, and he couldn't get a head coach gig? Come on. I mean, that's unheard of, man.
Anyone was a player.
Exactly. Come on, are you serious? Did Danny Hurley coach? Did he coach JR? Well, Pat said he didn't coach him. JR Smith.
I'm not sure.
Did he coach him?
I'm not sure.
I mean, come on. Yo, Tiny had 3 All-Americans. 3 All-Americans, and you couldn't get a gig?
Yeah.
It's unreal, man. Unreal. But yeah, man, I really appreciate this opportunity, man.
No doubt, man. Thank you for coming on. And look, what we're going to do, we're going to stay in contact. Get those people to me so we can make it happen for after the holidays. All right?
I got you.
My man.
I'm gonna send you whoever you need, their numbers, and you could get in contact with them, and you could talk about when they could come on the show, man.
I appreciate
it. You can hear their stories.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, my brother.
Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Salute.